Yet again, we find ourselves in a place where Republicans are absolutely being ridiculous with their time and their power in the House.
I'm not surprised, mother.
They're passing a bill about anti-Semitism, and you might say, wow, that's a great idea, but no, it's not. Let's get into this bill because the details are very scary, especially if you're Christian. And of course, the thing to point out about this bill is that 187 Republicans said yes, and 133 Democrats said yes, and only a measly 91 said no. So that means 91 people are saying, hey, the First Amendment is actually a pretty good idea. We should probably not get into that.
The last I heard, free speech still exists.
A big moral compass that I use for anything coming out of politics anywhere is Thomas Massey. Daddy, tell me what to think. He breaks down a part in the bill where it defines what actually anti-Semitism is. Because I think that's what the most important part is. Because it's like, what is this word? Denying the Jewish people the right to self-determination by claiming that the existence of the state of Israel is a racist endeavor. That's right. If you say another country's government is a racist endeavor, well, we're going to lock you up. Because this is America?
Huh?
And then this is the part where I get absolutely triggered at this part right here. Using the symbols and images associated with classic anti-Semitism. Huh. Okay, like Nazi Germany? No. E.g., claims of Jews killing Jesus or blood libel. To characterize Israel or Israelis. Well, you know, there's only a few things in the part of the Bible where we could have a discussion where they actually do that over and over again. Matthew 2:13, Matthew 12:14, Matthew 26:4, Matthew 26:59, Matthew 27:22. I'm only going to show you a couple of these right here. Here's Matthew 2:13. When they had gone, the angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream. Get up and take the child and mother to Egypt. Stay there until I tell them, for Herod is going to search and kill the child. Okay, and then we go over to here. The chief priests and the scribes heard it and were seeking a way to destroy him, for they feared because all a crowd was astonishing by his teaching. Okay, and then we'll just go over to John 5:18. For the reason they tried all the more to kill him, not only was he breaking the Sabbath, but he was even calling God his own Father, making him equal to God. You know, there is countless scripture in the New Testament talking about how they're going to kill Jesus. It's in the Bible. I'm sorry. It's part of the truth. Whether you like it or not. I mean, if you talk to a real Jewish person like Ben Shapiro and ask him what he actually thinks about Jesus, he'll tell you what he thinks about Jesus. They don't respect him. Okay? And so these are Republicans voting for this bill. You know, Christian Republicans. You know, the kind of Republicans that'll sell you a Bible with their name on it. And what I find is even more interesting is that in the news, who's talking about this anti-Semitism bill? You know who's not? Fox News. I don't see anything on Fox News anywhere. And I searched. Not on their top stories. We're talking about UCLA. We're talking about the protest. Interesting that the people talking about the anti-Semitism bill, ABC, CNN, NPR, NBC News, you know, the ones that are fake news. Not like Fox News. We're the real news. We're the real people. Let's hear Let's hear Chuck Roy break down this bill perfectly for all to hear.
But here's the thing. Yet again today on the floor of the House of Representatives, we had another show vote to make people feel good about themselves by passing a bill that says anti-Semitism in the title. That's what happened. And it was put on the floor by Republican leadership. And it was put on the floor by Republican leadership despite knowing that it was pulled from going through committee. We didn't have a chance to amend it. We didn't have a chance to discuss it, to debate it. We didn't have a hearing on it. It was jammed through to take advantage of this political moment while all of these horrific things are going around the country. Republican leadership wanted to score political points, so they moved through legislation without the kind of deliberation, debate that is supposed to be carried out by the people in this chamber. As a result, today, a significant number of my Republican colleagues, including myself, voted no. As a result, we will be accused of I don't know, being for anti-Semitic behavior, being accused by our
of course
friends and allies of not wanting to support Israel, supporting our Jewish American colleagues and friends, constituents,
Chip Roy
fellow
hates
Americans.
Jews.
Nothing could be further from the truth, but that's what will happen. And it'll happen because we dare to stand up and say, we don't believe in thought police. We don't believe that a bill should be brought to the floor of the United States House of Representatives, having not gone through committee, that has a reference in it to international organizations' definitions, literally in the statute, and then taking that international organization's definition, and then literally in the statute, representing and referencing the examples of anti-Semitic behavior. Now, I find the vast majority of the things that were listed in that to be horrific activity, most likely, if not certainly, anti-Semitic, at least in most contexts. Some of them are problematic. In totality, they certainly raise First Amendment concerns. They certainly raise concerns about something that I've opposed to the best of my knowledge and ability, reading through pieces of legislation at every turn and every vote, to oppose the whole notion of hate speech, hate crimes, thought police, thought crimes, putting the government into your head and your motivations when you're engaged in criminal behavior. Criminal behavior is criminal behavior. Violating people's civil rights is violating people's civil rights. But when we want to insert the government into what you're thinking and what motivates you, you are empowering that which should never be empowered. The ability of the government to police thought, to police speech, to police your views. Not the views that carry out then the actions. The actions are the problem.
Right.
Police the actions.
Amazing. But, you know, we always knew that that's what Republicans are about, right? It's always about taking away your freedoms in order for them to have more power. I know they pretend like they care about freedom of speech, but they don't. And, you know, I looked and see who's talking about it. Of course, you know, the Jewish News Syndicate, they're very excited. The entire squad of 70 Democrats vote against HR. Like, what about those Republicans? Nah, let's not talk about those people. Democrats hate Jews. CNN, House passes anti-Semitism bill as Johnson highlights campus protests. ABC, House passes a GOP anti-Semitism bill amid college unrest. Nothing from Fox News. Nothing at all. Are you surprised? This bill is absolutely insane. This is absolutely insane. Matt Walsh says it perfectly. The vast majority of Republicans just voted for a bill to criminalize criticisms of the Israeli government. If the bill passes, you will be guilty of hate speech if you apply double standards to the government of Israel or accuse it of genocide. This is honestly one of the most insane pieces of legislation I've ever seen. Oh, but is it? Yeah. It's pretty bad. It's like me saying, you know, Brazil's government or Bolivia's government is anti-Semitic and racist. Oh, lock him up. Oh my God, you don't even know a Bolivia person. It's just, this is what Republicans are doing. It's like, they get power. They tell you all the right things, and then they get in there and they're like, you know what, Bill, we're going to work on. I know inflation is bad. People are scared about war. People are scared about the open border situation. You know, cities are flooded with immigrants who are just chilling in hotels. We're paying them for free. There's a homeless problem. I could go on. There's crime in the streets that it's just outrageously everywhere. And this is Republicans. You're like, I'm making a stand for Jews everywhere. Listen, Jews, we'll make an anti-Semitism bill where this government will care more about Jews than any other race. Oh, and then the conspiracy theorists go, oh, excuse me, I've been telling you this forever. I told you they have power in our government. I told you they own us. Haven't you not been paying attention? Oh my God. I mean, like, I say this all the time in these videos. I try my best. I like the conspiracy theorists. I like to go down there. I like to figure out things. I like to go down the rabbit hole. But when stuff like this pops up, it makes the conspiracy theorists go, I told you. And then I go, okay, I'm starting to listen a little bit more, but I don't want to. And I'm nervous about that because of the implications that come from listening to you guys. But this is just so weird. I mean, the people that voted yes are staggering, like Texas, Alabama, Georgia, Ohio, California. I mean, this is a bipartisan bill. This is a bill that people from every walk in nation is coming together to say, yes, we need to police American citizens, meow. And if we don't do that, then meow, I am not standing up for the Jewish people in the time of need because some idiots on a college campus are protesting and starting riots, and that means we're making a stand. Well, incredible. As always, politicians everywhere will take an extreme event, catastrophic event, and then they'll find a way to take more freedoms from you and more power from you. What are your thoughts on this video? What are your thoughts? If you're a Christian and you're a little freaked out, look up the list of people who voted on this. And if somebody in your district voted yes, you call them out. Flood their emails, flood their call-in box, because they need to hear from you. Have a great day. And remember, Republicans, just like Democrats, will do everything in their power to take away your freedom for your safety. Well, if you're Jewish, I guess, at this point. What?